Hi, it's Jared from Strong Roots Farm. Today we're going to do the water trailer build. So first of all, this is not going to be a one-day video. This is going to be filmed over maybe a whole week. It's going to take me to do this thing in between our normal chores and stuff with the house and things like that. This is in the shop. This is going to go as long as it takes till we get this done. But the idea is that I want one trailer, one thing to move when we move cattle that has everything I need on it. So I need a shade structure. It's nice to have shade for our cattle. I need the mineral and the salts, vitamin mix, all the stuff that the cattle need besides the grass. And I need water. So whether this is a water tank system for you, or it's just the water bowl that they're gonna feed from and you hook a water hose into it every time you move. But I'm gonna have some tanks. So if I can go further away from a spigot and not need for water for a day, I'm gonna have some tank options on this trailer as well. But the idea is I move the cattle, as you saw in some of the previous videos, pull this thing into the new paddock and leave it, and I'm done. So that's kind of the idea. Quicker moves, less time in the field. That's what this is gonna be. So to start, I'm gonna walk here a little bit. This is an anhydrous ammonia running gear. So it's a very heavy running gear, has some leaf springs on it, super heavy. You do not need anything this heavy if you're gonna replicate this. You can simply get a normal wagon running gear. And if you don't know what anhydrous ammonia is, it used to have a big tank on here, kind of looked like a propane tank. And anhydrous ammonia it's a gas, but it comes out kind of like a liquid, but they inject it into the ground as a source of ammonia. Usually people who are raising corn use this. There has been a decrease in the amount that this is used, so they're getting rid of some of these tanks at a place that I bought this from. It's also used to make methamphetamines. So I guess that might be the reason they're going to a pelletized or a liquid form of this. So it's a dangerous product, but this running gear is great for us. And so that's what we're gonna start with today. And so I've extended it out as far as it'll go. I'm gonna do some welding on that, and then we'll get into the build and how I'm gonna structure it. And I'll just kind of take you through step by step that I do. All right, we're back. It's actually been 3 or 4 days. We've had some work to do out in the pasture, had some fence to fix, and I had a ground short issue on my fence, so I fixed all that. So we're back in the shop. It's gonna be a rainy here for the next few days. It's a good day to get in the shop. And so we got the running gear extended. We welded the frame down here at this tube as far out as it would go. Some people just put a bolt in it. You can just do that. I chose to weld it. I want it as strong as can be. And I started building the frame on it. So last time I did this, I used treated 6x4s. So you can build this out of wood. This time I've got some steel, and so I'm gonna use that. I thought initially I was gonna use 4-inch C-channel. I had some of that, and I thought I could get more, but what I was getting didn't fit me real well. And so I found a company scrapping this racking systems. Okay, so I'll take you over here and kind of show you what this looks like. It's thinner material, and they used it for racking in a plant. And I've cut it and made it skinnier so it fits my frame. And I'm welding this in. So it is pretty sturdy. I've only got this intact, but the other end is solid weld. I mean, I've pried on this stuff, and it doesn't budge. So it's gonna make a nice solid frame. It's not super heavy, which is what I was trying to stick with. The only thing I don't like about it are these holes. There's pros and cons. I mean, I could bolt some stuff through it, so that's nice, but to me, there's an opportunity for a wasp nest, and I don't want to have to deal with that, but it's free. So it's a lot of work, a lot of labor. There's a lot of paint on this to get ready to prep before you weld, but material is expensive, and anytime you can do something for free material-wise on the farm, it's good. So to start, what I've done is build the running gear part. You can use 4x6s, like I said. I've built that on top of the frame, that is, the running pillars. And then I went ahead and put my end caps on, so how high I'm gonna go. IBC totes are about 48 inches tall. I went 50, enough room for me to get between whatever I'm gonna use, the roof, and get up there and loosen the lid up. What I have found is you either need to drill a hole and put a vent, or keep that lid a little bit loose to allow air to go in as your water gravity feeds out. So the idea is gonna be here, we'll have at least one on the back, which is what I'm putting these extensions on the side for, so it's gonna fit that. I'm gonna put another panel on the side, and then in the center, we're gonna have a drop down with minerals bins all along this side and the other side, and then one at least, if not two tanks. I think I'm gonna go with one big one up front or somewhere here. I might get two in there. My problem is that the more tanks I put on, the more space there is in between that I can't put those mineral bins. And so whether I figure out another way to add those mineral bins out further, and then I'm cutting into my shade. And so that's kind of the game you have to play when you're designing and how you want to do this. So if you only put a tank, if you only put your beams at the ends and then put one beam down the center, you would have more shade structure. And so that might have been nicer, but I wanted the advantage of hauling water someplace where I don't have water ran. And so I'm choosing to take up some of my shade structure with water carrying capabilities. And so it's however you want it to make it work for you, whatever works best for you. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend these wheels out, make it wider so it balances better in the field. So I've still gotta do that and then weld those things shut. So this is where we're at so far. I'm gonna keep going tonight and I'll keep you up to date on it. All right, we're back at it. I've got the platform here that the automatic water or the tank, whatever you want, is gonna sit on. You don't have to do this. I've had one before where the tank just sat there and the hose went into it. That's fine as well. But I'm gonna have mine on a platform. I've got the top beam on and I've got all the sides on. Platforms for 1, 2, 3 tanks, and then some angles. We're gonna have a section in the center that won't have tanks, and that will be for our fence stakes, our reels, things like that. I'm gonna put a floor in it, all those kind of things, and then our mineral boxes will be on the side. So that's where we're at so far. So we've continued on with the build. We're now outside, welding outside in 80-degree weather. This sucks, but I can build it in the shop. I just can't drive it out the door. I only have a 16-foot wide door. This thing is 20 by 30. So once you get your verticals up, your long pillars on, you're gonna go across the top and get your width pillars on. And so we've actually welded them in. If this is wood, I would lay my wood up on top, vertical. If it's pipes, you can connect them in, PVC, whatever. If you're putting PVC on top of wood, you'd put the PVC on top of the wood. But either way, you're going all the way across sideways with your width lines, and then you'll do your outer perimeter length out here, something for your tarp or your shade cloth or whatever to tie to. And then you can put in angle braces if you want. If you're gonna do wood or PVC, I would definitely try to figure out how to put in some kind of an angle brace to help support the width. PVC, I've been able to go 16 wide pretty simply, and so I think that's fine. This is 20 wide, so if you're gonna go 20 wide, I would use a wood structure on the roof or steel like we're using. So once again, this is recycled. I'm finding that it's gonna be much stronger, last much longer, but it's taking us much longer to build doing it out of metal. So that's just part of the game. So we've got all the welding done now, got all my tops in, got some extra bracing in, got everything done. We're gonna do some grinding. 1, because I'm a little more particular than my welding skills allow, and 2, because the tops. So we're definitely gonna grind really hard on the tops, make sure everything's super smooth where the tarp or shade cloth is gonna be at. We don't wanna rub any holes in that. So when I made one out of wood, I put silicone on all the screw heads. Anything you can do. I had some really rubbery tape, put that on top of things, on connections. Anywhere that the wind is gonna blow this thing and cause it to rub a hole in it, we wanna try to prevent that. So on this, we're gonna go through and grind everything, hit it up, and then do some painting. We've got our contraption, whatever we wanna call it. We haven't come up with a name yet. We've got it painted, and we're starting to mount our tanks. We'll have to put our mineral box on, and we're gonna have to put our automatic water on the back. And so we're gonna get all this done, get our shade cloth up, and then we will do another video for the final reveal of everything. It's like a bad Netflix series. You just have to watch the next one coming up. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.